Pisces reading for March 16th through the 31st. Are there 31 days in March? Yes, I believe so. The second half of March, let's say it like that. I almost wanted to say January 16th, so this could be something that you've been going through since January, Pisces. I did do a little bit of meditating on your energy. I will say that there are two very different sets of Pisces that were coming through before I turn on the camera. One seems to be having a rough go at it. The other seems to be sort of accepting and receiving abundance, gifts, and kind of just going with the flow. It's almost like the very positive aspects of Pisces in one group and the very negative aspects of Pisces in another group. But we will see what comes through in the actual reading. I hope these messages find everyone in good health and good wealth and good spirits. That one flipped at a crossroads. Now, if you saw that, it flipped like out over, it just kind of did this number and back in the deck. So we're not going to pull it, but we are going to acknowledge that is something that's trying to come through, and either you're not ready for it, it's not ready for you, or it hasn't made itself known as of yet, okay? And it may come back through. Interesting that this came in upside down because I don't normally read this deck in reverse, okay? I'm going to leave it. They're saying to leave it, so I'm going to leave it. Let's get one more of these out. We're going to pull from definitely 2 different decks, maybe 3 different decks. Eight of Swords. Okay, again, something that's trying to come out, but it's either it's not ready, you're not ready. Some sort of imprisonment, possibly going to prison, facing charges. Could also be just like a mental thing, but it's kind of, it's trying to make itself known. It's trying to be clear, but it just keeps going back in. So it's either, again, it's not ready, you're not ready, possibly, I'm hearing yet to be determined. And it could just be that there's certain things that you're not really sure which way you want to go yet. There again, boy, that 8 of Pentacles trying to do the same thing. Okay, Pisces, so there's a lot that you're like being a little wishy-washy on. And not wishy-washy is probably not the right word. It could be that you're just being very cautious on certain decisions. There's another one. Strength. Okay, so I do see Pisces looking at all of their options and kind of carefully deciding and even organizing to some degree. First things first. One thing at a time, what's going to be the best option for right now, okay? So there's no definite decisions I feel like Pisces wants to make at this time. Okay, even that when you saw it flipped over and it went back into the deck. So this is a very real theme for Pisces at the end of March. And that could just have something to do with you kind of taking a load off. It is your birthday. We are at the tail end of it, but still it is your season. Another one. 9 of Pentacles. So it could have something to do with switching jobs or deciding, you know, maybe negotiating wages, deciding on what you're going to settle for or what you're not going to settle for. I feel like that's just overall, Pisces is not trying to rush into anything and make any like abrupt decisions. Again, you saw it flip over and go back into the deck. All right. All right. Yeah. I feel like Pisces isn't speaking on a lot of things yet. They may have a better understanding of what direction they're going in than they're allowing the ones in their life or ones that surround them to know about. And maybe it's wise. Maybe it's wise, okay? That's just your theme, 2 coming in through there. Yeah, I'm ready, I'm not ready. I'm ready, I'm not ready. Maybe. Ricky. We are not taking all that. We are going to acknowledge. Going to be a rough patch. Okay, for some of you it's a rough patch. It's mostly all in the head, okay, in the head space, in the mental space. There could be some fighting online here. Be very careful of what you put online, what you say online, what you put in writing, what you put in text, what you put on documents. The same way that I'm feeling perhaps you're not ready to share with others what you maybe know inside or what you're even unsure of yet. And I do see a little bit of this coming out in the spread as well. Is the same way I would say be very cautious and careful of what you put in black and white writing, signing on the dotted line, putting on the internet, or anything that could be traced back to you. Yeah, and text, maybe what you're texting to people, I feel like they may use it against you, or maybe you might say something that you regret, or put yourself in a situation that you maybe don't want to hold or keep all the way through or see all the way through. And I feel like once you put it in writing, you'll either be held to your word to some degree by someone or something, or you will feel obligated to be held to your word or set that standard for yourself, okay? All right, so the main thing here, the main focus is offers being made, offers being taken, and really kind of that what you have to offer, what you want to offer, and the standard that you want to set for yourself, okay? Again, I don't see you wanting to just make that, okay? The challenge here is being very stable and secure as you feel it in order to go forward and make that offer, make that known, or accept that offer. And the advice from Spirit is definitely going to be to allow the change to happen. Okay, and there are going to be some things that you're going to have to let go. I think you understand this, and I think you understand this, and it feels very much like that's why you're being so cautious, all right? When we're looking over here at your well-being, it's very clear to me that you know something isn't working out, or you're spending too much time somewhere with something or someone or somewhere in some space. Spirit is telling you to give it a break, okay? It's taking up too much of your time. Your focus seems to be in the wrong area here, okay? Because that card came out in reverse for a reason. Yeah, when it's coming to your well-being, there is a relationship with a person that is blocking it. I feel like you understand this, you know this, you're becoming too attached. You have become too attached too quickly. I think that you may feel it's going to be a little bit hard for you to walk away from, but Spirit is saying you may need to give that a break, or at least delegate time appropriately in certain situations. And interesting. There is a bit of control. I'm seeing this. You're allowing something to control you, and you're going to need to give it up. The challenge here is starting something new, all right, with direction and communication. It's like you want to continue to have communication and you want to start something new. I feel like you're not sure how to break this up. Whatever it is. It could be the breakup of a relationship. It could be kind of taking time for yourself. It could be breaking away from old habits, thought patterns. There's something wonky in the communication. I feel like you're having trouble finding a way to communicate this effectively. But you know, and Spirit knows, there's a very real change that needs to be made here. Okay, there's a very real break in the system that needs to happen. It has a lot to do with the way you are thinking about things and the way you are possibly allowing other things to influence your mental state, how you believe or how you relate or how you practice, maybe even, your lifestyle as far as health goes, okay? In the area of relationships, this could be, friendships, partners, romantic partnerships. Again, we have something very wonky coming in with the communication. There's a very immature attitude going on that's posing as a real challenge. Like the challenge is challenge itself. Spirit is asking you to be very honest with yourself, be very clear with yourself so that you can get through that, and so that you can, have a victory in this current position, okay? I feel like all of this, Pisces. Something's got you a little spooked, and honestly, it feels a little bit like you don't want to be alone. Maybe looking for love in all the wrong places, maybe scared to upset people. If you say how you really feel or state what you really need in these times, you may be scared that they will look at that in a way as some form of judgment on them, or it's like somehow I feel like you feel they're going to relate that back to them instead of understanding that it's truly something that has nothing to do with them. It's something that you need for yourself. And I feel like you understand this. You don't know how to communicate it without upsetting someone because you need them to be there. You don't want them to leave. You need a group. I got to tell you, Pisces, whatever these people and things surrounding you, they're just not meant for you, and you're not going to excel in this energy. You're just not. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to completely go away from your life. What it does mean is that you're going to have to be honest about the time and emphasis being put on this, and how it affects your own life and your own happiness, and whether or not you're going to be honest about what it is you need here. And are you going to allow your life to be lived and choices to be made by others or yourself? Okay, if they're meant for you, they'll stay around. This is friends, this is family, this is romantic partners. There's something real wonky here, and you're wasting a lot of potential and a lot of opportunities coming in by being tied up in things that are not very beneficial for your time. Okay, there's an aspect of time management here, and it's almost like someone's shoved up someone's ass. That's what it is. All right. And also there's something, it's like you're looking at other people to see where you should be. You're gauging your life off of other people's failures and successes in life. And that's just not where it's at. It's not going to get you anywhere. All right. Over here in the place of work, we're looking at, needing to plant seeds. You're needing to start, you're needing to build up. And I can see over here how that's being blocked. Nonetheless, I do see that you're very aware of pretty much everything I'm saying. I don't see this reading as anything other than basically confirmation of things that you need to do. You need to get into gear. I feel like you understand this. The challenge here is the content of the people around you. Okay? That's what it is. It's maybe you're trying to figure out how to juggle home, family life, and friends with work and building up of that workspace, maybe career, education, something like that. Especially because you have the Eight of Pentacles over here, and we're seeing the Three of Pentacles over here, and we're seeing it in regards to a love, partnership, friendship, relationship. We're seeing it in regards to the happy home, the wife, the cat, the husband, the dog, the stable life. So you're basically just mirroring each other in every aspect here. Your spiritual advice is to let this shine in truth. Okay, you need to make the hard decisions that are going to be the decisions that are actually going to make you happy. The way to gauge that, for those of you that may be like, well, they make me happy. Do they? Do they really? Because if there is a person that, or a thing, or a job, or whatever, that you can look at and you can say, well, we're going to gauge it. I'm going to give you a way to gauge it. So you look at this thing, this person, this relationship, this job, whatever, and without it, you don't know where you would be. You don't know what you would do. You would just be absolutely devastated. You wouldn't maybe know how to start over or where to go from there. It would leave this huge hole that you wouldn't know how to fill. Okay? If that is the case, if you resonate with anything I just said, you haven't been doing the work. Yes, we experience sadness whenever we lose things. Yes, there are certain things that can add to our happiness and our stability and make us feel more secure than we already felt. The thing is, if you're looking at something in that way, then again, you haven't done the work, because that means you don't know who and what you are without that thing, that person, that job, that whatever it is. And that means there is something outside of you that's controlling what you are, who you are, and the path that you're on. And that is never where we want to be. Okay, so that's a way to gauge that. Spirit is asking you to look at this in truth, in light, in the sun, so that you can create long-term happiness. Okay, so that you won't be just completely plucked out of place if something goes awry or something goes missing or something switches directions or you experience loss of any kind. Okay, because loss is already hard enough. So it's very important that we have a stable sense of self and a strong inner knowing of self when we experience these things, so that we don't just get completely stagnant and just out there like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Okay. When we're looking in the area of money, there is a focus here of being independent, okay, and also being highly desirable, okay. The challenge is coming in with communicating that, again, communicating it effectively, making hard choices in the matters of love. So remember, we got the Two of Swords, which is essentially the Two of Spades that wanted to come out and went back in the deck when we were pulling these cards. Then we get the Two of Hearts, which is the Two of Cups in relation to those pentacles and that control. So we've got the same thing pretty much all the way through, especially the way we started and the way we ended. So I do see that you want to be independent and you want to be desirable, but there is a relationship that you know needs to give somewhere. There is some serious hard-hitting choices that need to be made here, and it's just not being communicated effectively. This is the challenge when it comes to this. Spirit is asking you to be strong, to know your strength, and to, look at this row right here, to really gain an intense and just inner knowing and understanding of your own stability within your own inner self. You need the guts. You need to get up the courage and the guts to say whatever it is you need to say or do whatever it is you need to do with whatever this is. There is a very strong fear here, Pisces, of being left by someone or something if you say, hey, this is what I need. I don't want you to go anywhere, and I don't want to leave this job, or I don't want to leave this relationship, or I don't want to leave this house, or whatever it is. But I'm also going to need some certain things, be it more time, less time, more space. Honestly, it feels like space. It feels like we need to clear the air here, Pisces, just saying. But you're gonna have to have the courage to do that. And in order to do that, Spirit is telling you to go back to the basics, look within yourself, do the work, and be very clear about the change that you want, about the change that needs to be made, and have realistic expectations when it comes to making that change. So you're going to need to be truthful and be strong in whatever that means for you. I love you, Pisces. That's what I have for you, and I'll see you next time.